Are some people born leaders? Do they possess some form of superpower that enables them to transform their lives the same way movie superheroes do? People usually think this is the case whenever they hear stories of a well-known business executive. But can everyone learn to harness this elusive superpower and become leaders themselves? Let's find out. When looking up leadership on the internet, most of the results are outdated definitions, mainly about how leaders influence people. You might also find some articles on career advice that supposedly will help you to become a great CEO. Additionally, browsing through definitions and articles, you may get the feeling that leadership is more about hierarchies and titles than anything else. The first major theories about leadership started to appear in the 1840s and revolved around the great man idea. Basically, they believe that some people, or more specifically, particular men, are just born leaders, and our main priority should be to identify them and give them the power they deserve. Fortunately, leadership theories evolve with time, becoming more behaviour-focused in the 1940s and 50s, situational in the 60s, and much more complex in the 90s and 2000s. However, many of the old stereotypes and beliefs about leadership characteristics still persist to this day. Today, it is common for people who have achieved great financial success to be called leaders, regardless of their actual leadership style or their contribution to their own or their organisation's financial success. But if we look at studies on leadership skills, we realise that leadership requires a combination of different mind and skill sets. Daniel Goleman once said in the Harvard Business Review's 10 must-reads on leadership, "Every business person knows a story about a highly intelligent, highly skilled executive who is promoted into a leadership position, only to fail at the job. And they also know a story about someone with solid, but not extraordinary, intellectual abilities and technical skills who was promoted into a similar position and then soared." This means that the way people in leadership positions perform has less to do with their own intelligence or skill set, and more with their emotional and social intelligence, the situation they are in, and the people they engage with. Additionally, leadership is not limited to the professional world. Everyone has the chance to be a leader. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, or what you're doing. It is more about how you're doing it. Ask yourself these questions. Do you use your own energy in a way to provide yourself, other people, and the entire organisation you work at a chance to shine now and in the future, wherever they are in the world? If that's the case, then you are a sustainable leader. If not, that's okay. You can easily become one, and here's how. What does it mean to be a sustainable leader? Well, it means that we apply to our daily lives the principle of sustainability. That is, we meet the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations. By doing this, we are not only doing good for ourselves, but also the planet. We contribute to our own well-being, to those around us, and to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. A sustainable leader is someone who manages their own energy in a way that they can best support others, and by doing so they create the best results for the organisation they are in and the planet we all live on. How does that work in practice? There are 3 dimensions for sustainable leadership that are all connected, going from inwards to outwards: the personal, interpersonal, and organisational. Personal dimension. This is when you manage your own resources in a sustainable way. It is when you use your time and energy in the smartest way possible. This includes doing the right things and doing things right. Some habits you might find useful include scheduling sessions for deep work at times when you know that you can be most productive, but also reserving time for shallow work, tasks that you can do whenever you have trouble focusing. Responding to emails and planning your next week are examples of shallow work. Applying the Pomodoro technique, where you divide your working hours with 25 minutes of work between short breaks. Working to keep your email inbox constantly free from new emails using the inbox zero method. It is important to adopt a growth mindset when trying out different habits and methods, where you embrace innovation, believe in your own capabilities, learn from your mistakes, and are open to taking risks. In the personal dimension, we aim to live a more mindful and healthier life, while making sure to invest in recreation and spending time with loved ones in order to recharge energy for the next days. More importantly, in the personal dimension, we lead by example. We practice what we ask others to do. We are credible, authentic, and inspiring. Not only do we deal with our own empowerment, but it's also important to empower others. That's when we go to the next level, the interpersonal dimension. The core component of sustainable leadership focuses on empowering others so that they can be the best versions of themselves. To do so, it requires high levels of emotional and social intelligence so that we can manage our own emotions and anticipate how the emotions of others may affect their behaviour. To do this, sustainable leaders practice strong communication skills, train themselves and acquire experience in conflict resolution, negotiation, non-violent communication, and other essential components of leadership. A sustainable leader seeks to treat everyone the same way, strives to be professional in all situations, and manages personal sympathies in a way that they don't influence how they treat others in the professional world. This is why a sustainable leader is open and transparent. They can give constructive feedback and know how to navigate different social, economic, and cultural environments to ensure those around them receive praise when they need to hear it and constructive criticism when necessary. Organisational dimension. The last dimension, also called sustainable management, helps us to measure progress and align the body of our organisation with the principles of sustainability and sustainable leadership. There are several different tools in this dimension. Creating strategies and action plans to merge sustainability to your core business strategy, implementing the right management system, and making sure to monitor the competence and skills of the organisation in order to identify gaps and offer appropriate training. With this, you can also identify where you will need to apply actions towards building a sustainable organisational culture. It's very important to cultivate an environment where everyone feels respected and appreciated, where there are enough safe spaces where team members can share their feelings, and see that giving feedback is something normal and welcomed, that they don't need to be anxious about it. The organisational dimension of sustainable leadership connects the dots between each initiative and thus helps to measure and report on how a business contributes to the Sustainable Development Goals. The personal, interpersonal, and organisational dimensions are all united through sustainable leadership, empowering people in business, their personal lives, and elsewhere. These dimensions offer guidance on how to navigate towards more balanced practices that support people and the planet. Anyone can be a more sustainable leader if put in the right context and given the right tools. Sustainable leadership is not a superpower, it is a recurring choice and journey.